So what mysterious box have we got to review today in RØB'S reviews? It says pin. What can that mean? So today we are looking at the Pinter. Apparently it's a revolution in home brewing. Let's find out what's in the box. My box. So we have box one. We have box two, and we have that. I can't remember what it's called, but I will tell you in a minute. So from the off, you get a pretty good bunch of kit with this Pinter. You get this little document here with a QR code on, which takes you to these instructions that tell you everything you need to know, like what this is called, the brewing dock. So we've got the brewing dock. We have 2 Pinter packs which contain the brewing ingredients for the options I've chosen this time, which is a Mexican lager and a hard cider. So at this point I should probably tell you that I don't drink. But I do like gadgets, and this is a gadget that promises to make home brewing so much easier than before. And I've read up on it, I've seen stuff about it, and I really wanted to have a look at it. So let's have a look and see what's in the Pinter box. The Pinter itself. Delightful presentation there. Nice bit of wrapping, covered with a nice cover. As you can see, the tap, the handle for the tap, and here we have the Pinter itself. Basically, with the Pinter, you grab the handles on either side and give it a good shake to mix the ingredients up inside once you've put them in. So it's all a very simple process. And the best bit about it was, it's free. This entire Pinter unit comes free with a subscription. So your minimum subscription is to 6 deliveries of 2 types of beer, cider, lager. Minimum period every 2 months. You can have them more often than that if you want. But I've basically taken a subscription where over the course of a year, in 12 months, I will try 12 different lagers. So, confession, I'm just getting used to this camera. I don't know all the features. I'm not quite sure how to stop the text turning back to front on the me-facing camera. So, however, I'm starting off. I've got the whole 9 yards, which is a hard apple cider, and then I will be brewing on Casa Lime, which is a lime Mexican lager. So both fairly light in terms of strength and power for a non-drinker who wants to just give it a go. So that is what you get in the box. Let's open up one of these 2 and see what's in that. So, as I said before, the On Casa Lime is a Mexican lager, and here's what you get in your Pinter pack, which contains all the ingredients you need to brew your lager. Basically, you get a big soggy, it's not soggy, but it's a big bag of all the liquids mixed together that you just put this in the Pinter, mix with water, and off it goes. So before you put that in there, you need to clean the Pinter. So they give you everything you need to clean it, and it's called Purifier, funnily enough. do not consume a purifier, because some people would be stupid enough to consume the purifier. You've also got your brewing yeast, which on this occasion is called Spark. I know they have a number of different brewing yeasts, and if we needed hops to go in to this, we would have this is the hopper bit, but there is no hops included in my Casa Lime. So as you can see, there's next to nothing to add to it. I'm just basically going to give it a clean with the purifier, and then I'm going to add the yeast and the mix, and then just leave it for a number of days, put it in the fridge for a number of additional days, and then it will be ready. Now, if anyone remembers making beer years ago, I mean, I used to like an ale years ago before my disability kicked in and I couldn't really drink anymore. It used to be a nightmare process. You used to have demijohns, you used to have tubes going here and there, you used to have bubbling stuff like you were a scientist. Oh, it used to be checking things every day, checking temperatures, checking, I can't even remember what, just checking loads and loads and loads of stuff. It was a stressful process, and you pretty much were guaranteed to have a disaster first few times. So the Pinter says that you can make this beer straight away and it will taste great. So let's have a look and see what you have to do to make it. So with the QR code on the sheet of paper that I got with the Pinter, it gave us a link to this, which is Fresh Notes, which is just basically an introduction to the Pinter. As you can see, we're on Pinter number 3 in terms of evolution of the device. Tells you what parts you should get with it, and then basically says install the app, which will give you step-by-step instructions of how to exactly do what you're doing. But it's so easy to do, it just takes up one page for them to show you anyway. And there's also a set of YouTube videos which show you everything you need to know to do it as well. So they really have gone out of their way to make it a simple process for you to do this. They tell you why fresh beer is better for you, what people have made. Here's stuff from their range. Here's, as you can see, loads of beers, loads of different flavour things, loads of profiles. I'm not going to waste your time by taking you through everything there, but let's take you to the Pinter app. Let's take you to the Pinter app, he says eventually. So I'm signed in, I registered, put my name in, got everything, and it takes me to this page where I'll add my Pinter. So I've got a red one, and I shall call my red one Big Red Machine. So those of you who are probably my age will recognise that as being a wrestling reference. Hit return. Add your Pinter. Cheers, done. Now we can either go to the Shop Fresh Brew range, which will take you to this massive list of beers that you can go through yourself in time. Things like, I mean, you'll see things like Guinness is in it. You can make your own Guinness. Prostmeister, Lemon and Lime, Space Hopper, a few ciders, Brewdog, various things. Even Iron Maiden's Trooper remixed British beer. You can even get that as a set that has some Iron Maiden mugs for the Iron Maiden fans among you. And that's just one of them. So as you can see, there are a whole range of beers, lagers and ciders for everybody. So if we want to start brewing, here we go. So which have we got? So we're going to start with the Mexican lime, which I've already opened. I was going to start with cider, but I opened the lime, so I'm going to do the lime. On Casa, that is the right beer, but not the lime one. So where is the on Casa Lime? No, 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 no. No, 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 no. On Casa Lime, there she is. So, brewing over a longer period, drier and more rounded finish, brewing over 20 days. Short brewing times can often result in a slightly sweeter flavour and a fruitier aroma. So I'm going to do the 12 days because I like the idea of a sweeter flavour and a fruitier aroma. So here we go. Minimum, let's make a beer. So it's going to take me 7 days to brew. It's going to take me 5 days to condition. It will be ready by the 11th of April. So let's start brewing. So I've just been through the purifying stage step by step, but it occurs to me that it's not a very interesting bit of video. So I'm probably going to just tell you that I followed the 12-step purifying process and it's now purified. You don't rinse it out afterwards. You leave it with the purifying solution sloshing in there, apart from what you've emptied out, which is all of it. There's just little drops left. And so we're now at the brewing stage. So it's been a few hours since I purified the Pinter. I had a little rest afterwards. I had to go and get some food, had my tea, and I'm just coming back now to do the brewing process. So if you want the short version of this, we are going to top the Pinter up with water. We're going to add the mix. We're going to add the yeast. We are then going to get my neighbour to shake it for 60 seconds, add the brew dock, and then leave it for a week. If you want the long version, stay tuned. Step 1, make sure the carbonation dial is turned to 5. Step 2, take off the pump and the front cover, undo it and fill it up with water to the fill line. So they recommend you use room temperature water, and I have been advised by various parties to use bottled water rather than your own tap water. So here we go. This is some spring water I got from the supermarket. So still got some way to go. So I've used all that. I'm just going to go and get a bit more. So when I said a bit more, I literally meant that little tiny bit there more. So it's just over 5 litres going in the Pinter. And now it's time to add the mix. So here we have the mix, or the fresh press as they call it. Now, like the water, this wants to be at room temperature. So I've had these things sat around this room for 3 or 4 days now to make sure the water and the fresh press were at room temperature. Just pour that in, and that's all the lovely beer ingredients there. You can see, nom 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 nom. So get all that in there. Give it a good squeeze to get everything out. In you go, my beauty. Get in there. So can smell the lime already. That's quite rather nice for a non-drinker who's making Mexican lime lager. I am looking forward to seeing how this tastes. Yes, I have volunteers to drink it before you ask. You don't. It's not very hard. to find people who want to drink free beer around here. I'll tell you that for note. So that's all the fresh press squeezed into there. And next step is brewing yeast. So brewing yeast, spark as it is called, is going in there next. In you go, Mr. Yeast. Yeasty yeast. Fantastic. So, back on with the cap. So this is basically it. We've done all the hard work now. That is everything you need to do, short of shaking it all to mix it up and fit in the brewing dock. So at this stage, I'm going to go and get next door to give it a good shake for me. See you in a minute. So yep, here we are. We are back in the kitchen again because we've got another bit of potentially wet business to do. So we've now got to fit the brew dock onto the pinter, and then we turn it upside down so the brew dock's on the bottom, and we leave it undisturbed for 7 days to let the brewing magic take place. And that's all we have to do. In 7 days time we'll begin a 1-day cold crash, which is when you leave the brew dock on the pinter but put it in the fridge. And the reason you do that is because it makes it clearer than if you don't do the cold crash. But it is an optional part which adds a day to the process. But I don't drink, I'm not in any rush. So let's do this bit. So as we did while we were brewing, you put the brew dock on, and you do that by aligning the holes in the brew dock with the holes in the pinter. So the notches in the brew dock with the holes in the pinter, and give it a twist. So there it is. And then we just align it to make sure it is straight. And there we go. So all that we have to do now is turn it upside down and leave it to brew for 7 days. So if you look at the instructions, you can see...
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Shut up, Alexa. No, Siri. Oh, I get so mixed up with their names these days.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Yes, thanks, Alexa. So, here we go. So we've got 2 days of this month. And we've got the green days are the brewing days. So I'm brewing up till next Monday, which is a week today, when it will be cold crashing for a day to make it a little bit clearer. Then it will be in the fridge chilling and conditioning for, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, and it will be ready on the 12th. So let's turn it upside down and get this mother brewing. Obviously this is a two-handed job, so see you in a minute. So, I like saying so. I've noticed that in the edit today. I recorded this last night, but apparently I forgot to press the record button, so I'm re-recording it this morning. Everything on the pinter is now ready for the 7-day brewing process. It's had the mix, it's had the shake, it's all set up with the brew dock on, and now all I've got to do is wait till this time next week. So here she is, out of the way under here, where hopefully she will not be disturbed for a week. Well, she won't be disturbed for a week because there's only me to disturb her really, and I don't intend on doing that. So in a week's time we'll come back to it in time for the cold compress for a day, and I will see you then. Take care.